Warning, this content contains foul language, violence, and gore. Enjoy the story. Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this will be uploaded on my Ravenclaw What If Stories channel, my second What If channel. Now let's run some information down before we get into this What If. Now, this character is not going to take a place. This character is not to replace Deku. There is going to be a female Deku in this. I'm taking another route in this, so this is something new that I've been wanting to do. Since I did a certain part in one of my Vampire What Ifs where I made Izuku the teacher of Class 1A. So we'll not get into that. As Izuku, this character is going to be named as Magic Celine. I know it's not very creative, the first name, but she is the mother of Ines Celine, off of the What If crew. What If it's based off. They're both in the same world at first. Then something's going to happen where they're going to be transferred into different realities or different universe. Think of it the multiverse theory. Ines will be sent to one universe, and Magic is going to be sent to another one. As Magic had a normal childhood for an elf, for a blood elf, as she was quite talented in magic. Unfortunately, she didn't have your average affinity that majority of elves have in her clan, as she has always been in tune with void magic. Void affinity, it's not rare, but not a lot of not a lot of the other races have this affinity. Outside of the elves, they're the only species that so far has had a chance to develop a void affinity. As she was pretty much a prodigy when it comes to magic. As she spent her younger years exploring, meeting all different races, and learning all different type of magic. Actually, of course, she had to ask the council permission to leave the tribe for a temporary period of time to travel around. Till one day she came across a wounded man, a wooden elf, a injured blood elf. As she took care of him to make sure she nursed him back to full health. This blood elf would down the line be her future husband. As over the years, their bond slowly start going closer, as they were officially announced husband and wife through the traditions of the Blood Elves. Later, a few years after their marriage, Magic's first daughter was born, Ines Celine, from the Celine clan or tribe. Well, whatever you want to look at it. Before she was pregnant with her daughter, she settled down in a nice teaching job at one of the magical institutes. Magic was quite a popular teacher at the magical institute of witchcraft and sorcery. It doesn't really matter what you want to call it. The arcane arts. the Arcane Institute. Until one day she's been getting anonymous letters. Poetry and love letters from a unknown suitor. She's a married woman, so she didn't take no she didn't think of it. She just threw him out. This mysterious person, this mysterious admirer, continued to do this for several years. Until one day the Institute was under attack by vampires, as they slaughter majority of the students. When the door bursts open as several vampires start coming out, as magic begins controlling the essences art, the as she immediately begins to attack with void, as she's shooting void blast out of her hands. Immediately, she wraps the void all around her hands as she begins to create claws out of the void, as she begins slashing one after another of vampires as they keep piling up through the door. As magic is covered in blood. As a woman with white hair slowly walks up to Magic. Hello there, Magic. How do you know my name? Simple, my dear. I'm a great admirer. As she gently touches your cheek. As Magic is about to swipe her with her claws, as this mysterious vampire grabs onto her wrist. None of that, my pet. Sleep. As she places her hand on Magic's forehead, as she falls unconscious, as this mysterious vampire picks her up. As some time has passed, as Magic wakes up in an unknown bed, she knows she's being pinned down on the bed, and when she woke up, as she sees this woman, pin her down to the bed. As she bit down on her wrist, as she goes down to kiss Magic, as she force feeds blood down her throat, as she tilts Magic's neck, as she bites down, draining the blood from her veins, as she keeps Magic chained up onto the bed, waiting for her to go through the transition of becoming one of them. As this vampire is a very ancient vampire. This specific vampire came from another dimension. That she travels from dimension to dimension when the mood strikes her. Immediately when she wake up, where am I? What is this place? Why my head hurts so bad? As she's a bit dizzy. Relax, dear. Your worlds are much different now. What did you do to me? I improved you. I made you one of us, my love. As several men start busting out, as you're not gonna run this time, vampire. You're gonna die here. As several human vampire hunters come rolling in. Got another one. As they aim their crossbows at Magic, as immediately they fire off at Magic, as the arrows are going very slow for her, as The arrows, she maneuvered her body for a certain way where the arrows cut through the chains as immediately magic jumps out the window. As she returned home in the cover of night, as she goes through her daughter's window, as she sits down and puts her hand on her cheek. I'm sorry, my daughter. I'm going to have to leave you for now. Maybe if fate deem it, if the fates bless us, we will meet again. As her husband comes in the door, as she sees magic, or he sees magic. Sweetheart, where have you been? I've been word sick. As he hugs magic. Yeah, dear, sorry, but I have to leave. It's not safe here for me anymore. What do you mean? As she as he gets it closer, my God. I'm sorry, my love. As immediately he uses some sort of electric spell. As immediately he shocks magic as she falls to the ground. Enough to knock her out, but not wake up their daughter. As he put a silent spell around before he shocked his wife. As he had several of the sorry, several of the elves drag magic into a cell as they chain her up in silver. Not silver, but some restraints that has binding spell on it, so magic can't break out of it. Several weeks has passed as they finally drag Magic into a room where she sees her husband and several council members from the heads, from the main part of the blood elf race that holds majority of the power. As they throw her onto the ground, as her husband refuses to look her into the eye, as the council speaks. Magic Celine, for the crimes of vampirism, your hereby will be sealed and banished till the end of time. How do you plea? Why are you doing this to me? I did nothing wrong. This was forced upon me. I did become this way willingly. Please, show mercy. Silence. Abomination. You know the law. As the door opens, as they bring a very sapling of a blossom tree. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit there and do nothing? Won't even look me in the eye? I curse you. I should have left you to die when I found you. As they begin the process of channeling their magic, as magic gets thrown against, they begin binding her against a tree. As as branches, not really branches, but tendrils wrapped around magic as it's pulling her in. As magic is screaming for help, as her husband just looks the other way. As they officially seal her into to the sapling tree. So all of the council members leave, leaving her husband alone in the room. As he finally gets up the courage to go up to the tree, as he puts his hand on on the tree bark, or forget what it's called. Made on the main tree trunk. I'm sorry, my love, but I have no choice. As immediately he opens the portal up and puts the tree through. Well, actually, the portal opens up but underneath the tree as he slowly walks away. As Magic is conscious through this whole process, she just can't do anything. As the tree lands into medieval Japan, as she's stuck in a tree watching the humans, how their civilization progressed during this time. As she's been stuck in this tree for centuries. As slowly the samurai died off when the modern day starts to arrive. When gunpowder was created. As she witnessed the birth of Quarks, the rise of One for All, un- until one day, a very small rodent came across the tree. It's Nezu, as he gets a very disturbing feel from the tree, but at the same time, a urge to protect it. As this is it's the exact spot that UA is going to be built. As he built UA around the tree. As Nana Shimura has taken the habit of sitting next to, leaning against the tree, sitting against the tree, sorry guys. As she's been doing that her whole career in UA. When she attended UA, as she always made she always made it, oh sorry, I keep forgetting what I'm going to say, Jesus. She made it a routine to eat lunch by the tree throughout her UA years. Even when she became a pro hero, she always visits the tree. She senses a very loneliness from it. It bugs her, but but through the years, Nana would talk to the tree, giving Magic, someone to interact with, even though Magic can't interact with Nana. As Nana would talk to the tree, about her fears and her goals and her regrets. Have Toshinori, his first year in UA, as Nana gave All Might her quirk, as she's been training him to utilize it. It only took him the first try, but yeah, but she continued to teach him about the quirk and make sure he's ready to take the role of the number one hero. As a symbol of peace. As a symbol of peace. UA's alarms goes off as several villains begins to attack the school. Unknowns to Nezu, there are vampires mixed in with the villains. All for One asked for help. As there are several old families, clans in Japan. Covenants of vampires. Very powerful vampires. Even All for One has to show respect towards them. As they immediately begin attack, as there were some casualties, some victims, as several bodies fall to the ground, as the blood slowly moves towards the tree, as it slowly sucks up into the roots, as the tree begins cracking little by little. Immediately, Nana was knocked back against the tree. As one of the villains, as one of the vampires is about to strike down Nana Shimura, as he's holding a katana, as he's about to swipe down at her. As the tree trunk immediately blew up, as suddenly it looks like someone bust out. It just burst out from the inside. As everyone sees a woman, as her arms are crossed against her chest and in a cross motion. Your typical vampire pose when you're in a coffin. As everyone sees a as they see a woman with long blonde hair, crimson red eyes, is wearing some sort of medieval dress that would stingify that she comes from high nobility. That's what Nana thinks, just from the view of her. As she did notice the long years. As she slowly opened her eyes, as she uncrosses her her arms, as she stretches out, as she yawns. Oh, it's been centuries. Good to smell the fresh air again. It doesn't matter what century I'm in. You humans, in your conflicts, it never changes. No matter what dimension I travel or sent to. As all the vampires are stuck in place, now I can see the fear in their eyes. The rest of the villains are confused as what you're doing. Kill the number one hero. As they all kneel down and bow to magic. At least some of you have some respect. And you. Put that sword down, why don't you? Please, dear. I would hate to have to separate your heart from your body. From your body, dear. Please, please forgive us. We did not mean to. We didn't know. We didn't know a vampire of your caliber was being housed here. Please spare us. Hmm. And she looks at her hands, feeling her fingers. I might, if you disappear from my sight in the next 2 seconds. If not, your all will be. I'll give you your true death. As immediately all the vampires leave, post haste. Nana, dear, why don't you do your hero thing and take care of these humans? I'll. I won't interfere in your job. I will only observe. Ah, you must be Nezu. As she slowly walks towards Nezu, as several villains come towards her, as she flicks, as all she did was blow some air, as immediately several villains get thrown back into a wall. Know your place, maggot. So you must be the Nezu I've been hearing so much about. Nana tends to talk your ear off about you. Let me properly introduce myself. As magic does a courtesy, my name is Magic Celine. Miss Celine will be most adequate to address me. I must thank you, Nezu, for looking after me for so long, for protecting me. Several portals open up as all the villains escape. Oh, it seems like the maggots got away. Oh dear, that can't be good. No matter, it doesn't concern me. What are you? Simple, my little Chimera. I am a vampire. As she shows her fangs, Don't worry, I have no interest in hurting anyone. Yet. But, nevertheless, I will grant you a blessing from me. A favor. A one-time deal. Just one favor, Nezu. Just one. Well, I must say my goodbyes. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Nezu. And Nana, you take care of yourself. I'll be watching. Of Endeavor, leaning against the wall with a scared look in his face. And this blonde over here must be your apprentice. Think she called. Think she. Think she said your name was Toshinori, was it? Yeah. Don't worry, dear. If I wanted you dead, you would be. Now, you might excuse me. I have to go explore. After all, I'm free now. And I will not be imprisoned again. I must explore this new world to adjust myself to its customs. As she snaps her fingers as a void portal opens up. Well, it's been a pleasure, everyone. Good luck on the whole villain, good versus evil. Toodles. As she walks through the portal, as the portal closes. As, Nana sees Nezu. Nezu, where are you going? I had enough today. Didn't real. Apparently, vampires are real. Well, I need some tea. And Engie, stop cowering and get to class. Yes, I have. I have to talk to the press now because we lost quite a few of our students. This is going to be hard to get it all. It's going to be hard to get this sorted out. Never a dull day. As Magic steps out of the portal, as she's on the streets in Japan, as she's just walking, just appreciating the view as buildings, lights are flaring up, people are going from one place to another. As she sees the vehicles, as she's quite intrigued by automobiles. As she sees a young girl, very young, let's say a freshly, I'm not sure how old she would be. Give me a second here. Say it's a middle school student as she sees a girl with long, very long, green hair with green eyes. As she thought that was an interesting eye color. It's quite piercing as she sees as she's being mugged, as they want to do some unkindly things towards her, as they're dragging her into the alleyway. Well, we can't have that now, can we? I guess it's time to introduce myself to these humans. That's no way to treat a woman. No way to treat a girl. As you have Magic, these follow these guys into alleyway, as they have Inko pinned to the wall. Inko's on her last year of middle school as she's going to attend high school. As immediately, Inko closes her eyes as to expect something's going to happen. She thinks that they're going to kill her. As she closes her eyes, nothing happens. As she peeks one of her eyes open, as she sees several of the let's see, there are high school students. Several of the high school students from a different high school. They're all on the ground. As Magic has one of them by the throat. Now. That's improper behavior of a young man. As she flicks on the forehead he's out cold. As magic drops him on the ground. Are you okay, my dear? Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's no problem. Why don't you run along? I'm Inko. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Inko. I am Magic Celine. You could call me Celine if you want. Or Magic. Whatever piques your fancy, dear. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Be careful on your way home. There are some creeps out here, apparently. As Inko walks away, as Magic has a smile on her face, as she walks the opposite way, as she begins to explore this new city, this new era she's in. As we're going to stop it here. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video. Alright, bye.